Hey everyone, welcome to our restorative movement session for today. This is focused on the kidneys, the hips, and feet. I'm Daniela, owner of Remade Wellness, and I'm so glad you're here. It's been a couple months since we've done a restorative movement class together, so excited to do this one with you all. What you'll need for class today is just yourself, a yoga mat, and always have some water with you to hydrate, especially because we're focused on the kidneys today. So we're going to start on our yoga mat in standing. So if you're not already there, let's make our way over there. All right, I love to start all of my classes with a standing scan just so that you get a feel of your body where you're at today. And it also just is a way to help you just tune in to yourself. So go ahead and take a couple of steps in place and then just let your feet land wherever they land. Take a breath in, relax your arms by your sides, and exhale. Feel free to close your eyes. We're going to bring attention to our feet and just feel how your feet make contact with the ground. So our kidneys are very linked to our lower extremities. So while we go through the scan, I want you to pay close attention to the lower body specifically. So the feet, the knees, legs, and hips. And of course, everything is attached. So the kidneys impact our whole body's mobility. But I want you to just notice the difference this class makes, especially in your lower body. So feel the feet, feel the ground beneath your feet and notice where you're carrying your weight. Is it on the insides of your feet, the outsides, the front, the back? And then is it the same from one side to the other? And just notice as we go through the scan, I like to remind you all that there is no right or wrong. There is no need to fix anything or adjust anything. It's better if you just observe without judgment or wanting to, make things right or make it better. We're just observing your body as it is today. Let's draw your attention to your ankles. How do your ankles feel in relation to your feet? From left to right. And then we'll move up into the lower leg. So feeling the calves, the shins. How do the lower legs feel in relation to the ankles, the feet? And then bring attention to your knees. If you were to draw a straight line out from your knees, would they be parallel lines or would they intersect or would those lines move away from each other? What do your knees feel like today? Then also notice the weight on your knees. Is it the same from one side to the other? Is one knee carrying maybe a little bit more weight? What differences do you notice there? And then coming up into the upper leg, the thigh, what do you notice in your upper leg? And bring attention to the upper part of that thigh bone and where it connects to your pelvis. This is your hip joint. Notice what you feel in your hip joint. Notice how the ball and socket joint feels on each side. What's the same? What's different? And then bring your attention to your entire pelvis. Imagine your pelvis is a bowl. This is your pelvic bowl. I want you to kind of take like a step up from yourself and then look down into your pelvic bowl. And what do you notice? How does your pelvic bowl sit in relation to the lower legs, to the whole legs, I should say? And then wrap your attention around the pelvis, around the back to the sacrum. This is where the end of your spine meets your pelvis. And then I want you to follow the sacrum up into the low back, through the mid back, and into the upper back and neck. Can you feel all the curves of your spine? Is there any curving from one side to the other? So any like lateral movement in the spine? Does it feel like the energy flows easily up your spine? Does it feel like it gets stuck anywhere? And then we're going to wrap the attention from the mid back around the front to our ribs. I want you to take a breath in and notice where on your ribs does your breath land? Does it land at the top, the sides, the back? And then take another breath in and notice the quality of your breath. Does it feel easy to take a breath in? Does it feel restricted, heavy, slow? Does it feel open and accessible? And again, just making notes, no judgments, just observing your body as it is today. Bring your attention to your collarbone, your shoulder blades, your shoulder joints, your arms. How does one shoulder girdle feel compared to the other? From right to left, left to right. What feels the same? What feels different? And then moving up to the neck and head. How does the head sit over the neck? And how does the neck sit in relation to the rest of the body? Is it moved forward, pushed back? Does the head tilt up or down? Does it rotate to one side or the other? Is there any lateral bending? How does your head sit in relation to the rest of the body? And then lastly, check in with your head space, so the area above your head, but really it's inside your head. So your mind, your head space. How does your head space feel today? And does it match how you feel in your body? Is there some sort of dissonance or is there connection? And once you have made some mental notes of how your body is feeling today, you can start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, maybe move your wrists, arms, legs, move your spine, wiggle around a little bit. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your attention back to the room. All right. I hope that that was insightful for you. I love doing full body scans just to check in. Anytime that I'm feeling a bit disconnected from my body or having like a lot of bouncy balls in my headspace, bringing my attention down into my body is so helpful. All right, let's start into the movement part of our class today. We're going to start with some spinal rolls. So again, you're going to take those feet, just take a few steps in place. Let your feet fall under your pelvis. Pelvis is just sitting over your legs. Soften the knees, keep the pelvis neutral. And while we're here, think about releasing any tension in your pelvic floor. So my favorite way to do this is to just kind of give myself a little wiggle, make sure I'm not holding any tension in my pelvic floor. From here, I'm going to take a breath in. And on the exhale, I'm going to start to roll my head forward. I'm going to start to roll my shoulders forward. And I'm just starting to roll my vertebrae, my spine, one vertebrae at a time. And I'm folding over my ribs, over the diaphragm, over the liver, and kidneys here. Maybe we can pause here and wiggle around, just bringing some attention to our kidneys. Just the simple act of visualizing can do so much good for the kidneys or any organ you're working on. We'll keep rolling over those intestines, rolling over our gut and pelvis, rolling all the way down, letting your head hang heavy at the bottom. Feel free to let yourself hang out here. When you're ready, you can start to push the knees forward. Start to send the hips forward. As you do, you will slowly unravel your spine as you make your way up, letting your head be the last thing to come up. All right. We're going to take a little step back because I forgot to do this at the beginning before we did our spinal roll. A little skin stimulation. Visualization is one way to bring awareness to any of the viscera that we are working on, but also skin stimulation. So think about find your belly button, and then your kidneys sit just above that. So if I were to place my hands over my abdomen and my fingertips were to end where my belly button is, but I'm going to wrap around the back. And I'm going to do some skin stimulation. I'm just rubbing, creating warmth, bringing awareness in my brain map to my kidneys, since that is what we're focused on today. You can give a light, gentle massage. If you have had a kidney biopsy of any kind, you might have a mark, and that makes it easy to find your kidneys. But otherwise, they kind of sit higher up than you might think. They're not necessarily like in your low back, but kind of where mid back, low back starts. And then we'll also skin stem around the front, because our organs are 3D around the sides. And then while we're here, around our hips. Remembering that our kidneys connect through the ureters to our bladder, which sits in our pelvic bowl. All right, I love a good stimulation, bringing some warmth to the area that we're working. And release. Okay, we're going to take our arms by our side. We're going to move into a rag doll. So this will be a little combination of side bending, rolling, and moving around. While we do this, again, I want you to focus on how your kidneys are stretched and moved through the movement. So we're going to start a side bend to the right. So your right arm going to slide down your right leg, and we'll pause here and think about the position of your kidneys. So right now, that right kidney is being compressed a little bit, and the left kidney is being stretched and pulled. We're going to take the left shoulder. We're going to roll it forward. So now we're hanging out over our right leg. We're going to ragdoll, hang across the front of the body, rotate around to the other side. Now we're hanging over that left leg. We're going to stack the right shoulder. And now think about the position of your kidneys now. That left kidney is compressed. That right kidney is being stretched. And then we're going to come back up. And let's reverse that. Left side, slide down the left. Right shoulder folds forward. Roll across the body as you do. Feel the stretch through the kidneys. Maybe pause here and take a breath. Fill out your kidneys. And exhale. Finish that rotation over to the right. Stack the left shoulder and come back up. Let's do both sides one more time. Slide down the right. Fold that left shoulder forward. Let the head hang. Roll across to the middle of the body. Take a breath here. Fill out the kidneys. And finish that rotation. Stack the right shoulder. And come to standing and reverse it. Left arm slides down the left leg. Right shoulder rolls forward. Rolling across the body. Take a breath here. Fill out the kidneys. And finish that rotation. Stack the left shoulder. And come to standing. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more side bending work, but we're going to do it in a seated position. So let's slowly make our way down to the floor onto seated. And while we're here, feel around, find your sits bones. You can take a cross-legged position if that feels comfortable for you. And then kind of reach under you and move any flesh that you need to out of the way so you really feel your sits bones on the ground. So I have my right leg in front. I'm going to sweep my arms up, take a breath. Right arm is going to drop. I'm on my fingertips. Left arm reaches up Exhale, bend that right arm, reach over to the right, being mindful that we keep that left sits bone grounded to the floor. We're not like leaning over, bringing our hip with us. We are lengthening the left side body as we stretch to the right. We feel that stretch through the side, and we're going to take a breath, breathe into that left kidney, and exhale. One more breath here. Take a breath, reach longer. Exhale, bend a little further, and come back to center. Nice job. Okay, let's switch to the other side. So now I'm taking my left leg in front. I'm going to sweep my arms up, take a breath. Left arm is going to come down to the floor. I'm reaching that right arm up, grounding my right sits bone, and exhaling, side bend, feeling that stretch through the right side body, reaching over to the left. Take a breath, breathe into that right kidney. Expand the ribs on the right, and exhale, reach a little further. And exhale. Good, and come back to center. All right, we're gonna merge those two. Take whichever leg you like in front. I like to call these ballet rolls. I'm not really sure what else to call them, but we are going to move through the middle and into a side stretch. We'll stretch and then we'll round, move through the middle, and then reach into that side stretch. So the goal here is, I'll show you from the side. When we roll forward, we are rounding our back, rounding our spine, maybe even giving your pelvis a little tuck under. So we're lengthening and creating space for our kidneys, and then reaching to the side, round and reach to the side. Okay, so find your seated position. Find your sits bones. We're going to sweep the arms up, and we're going to start to the right. So right arm drops, left arm reaches up, over, feel that long stretch through the left side body, and then round forward. This is where I like call it ballerina rolls, because you're holding your arms like a ballerina. And then left hand reaches to the floor, right arm reaches up. And then we're gonna roll forward. So that right arm is reaching over, reach long, long, long to the front, round and over. Left arm comes up, reach, exhale, round through the middle, over to the left. Exhale, roll forward. Inhale, reach. 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 One more time. Exhale, roll forward. And back to center. All right, wiggle around. We're going to come on to your back. And again, taking a moment to mind-body connection here. Take those hands onto your abdomen and visualize where your kidneys are sitting in place. One of my favorite rest postures for the kidneys is just elevating the hips. So our kidneys don't have a suspensory ligament, meaning a ligament that like holds them up in place. They sort of just sit squished between our other organs and like our fat. And so they can get heavy when we have any kind of inflammatory response in the body. They can get heavy and sit low. So when we can lift the pelvis up, let the kidneys slide back towards the diaphragm, towards the lungs and ribs, that helps them, takes kind of like the load off of the kidneys. So if you ever are just wondering, like, well, how can I support my kidneys today? You can elevate your hips and let them rest on some pillows, or cushions, whatever you have available to you. All right, we're going to do a figure four stretch here. So I'm going to take my right leg. I'm going to cross my ankle over my left knee, and I'm making this figure four. I'm taking my left arm around my left leg, my right arm through the middle. So I'm going to joining my hands behind my left leg, and I'm pulling that knee towards me. So you're going to feel a stretch through the right glute. Taking a breath here. Exhale, hug that knee a little deeper. One more time, breathe in and exhale. Pull the leg closer. Bring that left foot back to the ground, and then you're going to let the left foot roll onto the side, and the left knee is going to fall. Right leg is coming with it. You can take your arms out into a T, and almost like you're trying to resist the rotation in the ribs. Just let the hips rotate. You're going to feel a really nice stretch through the right side lower body here. Take those arms out. We're going to take a breath and breathe into that right kidney space. Try to create more space and expansion, almost like you're trying to separate the pelvis and the ribs. Long exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Bring it back to center. And we're going to do the other side. So I'm taking the left leg up. I'm crossing my left ankle over my right knee. I'm creating this figure four position. Right arm is going to go around the outside of my right leg. Left arm through the middle. And I'm going to grab the inside of my right leg. I'm going to join my hands together. And I'm going to lay back, pull that right knee towards me. So I'm going to feel that stretch through the left glute. Take a breath. And exhale. I also love just visualizing the energetic flow of my kidneys. So kidneys are very tied to your body's energy. And we can think about that in relation to our adrenal glands. They sit right on top of our kidneys. So very strong relation to our body's energetic flow. So when we are feeling run down, a little burnt out, I love to treat the kidneys with some movement here. That's what we're doing today. So I love just visualizing just energetic flow through my kidneys while I move them around. All right, set that right foot down. I'm going to take the arms out to the side, and I'm going to let the right foot roll onto the side of the foot and let the right knee fall to the right. Left leg is going to go with it. And so now I'm feeling that stretch through the left side lower part. And I am, again, trying to resist that rotation in my ribs and just letting the pelvis move, like I'm trying to separate, create space and separation with my ribs and pelvis here. Take the arms out into a T and breathe. Breathe into the left side body. And exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. Bring the legs back to center. And then while we are here on our back, let's just do a couple of knee hugs, alternating side to side. Again, this creates space on the back side for our kidneys. So anytime we can give slack, meaning to shorten our femoral nerve, that helps to give some ease to the kidneys as well. Working on the femoral nerve helps to treat the kidneys, and working on the kidneys helps to treat the femoral nerve. So back and forth, very close relationship. Now let's massage our sacrum, so low back. I should correct that, not low back, but just the back side of your pelvis. So grab onto your knees. Knees are at tabletop, and I'm gonna push my knees over to the right and then circle them to the front, left, and then back towards me. Right, front, left, and then back towards me. And so you start to feel a massage around your pelvis, sacrum, and I guess maybe even the low back. And we'll do one more and then we'll reverse it. All right, back to center. Go to the left, forward, right, and then center. And then you can make these circles as big or as little as you'd like, whatever feels the best for you. All right, bringing it back to center. Roll over onto your side, come to a seated position, and we're gonna work on our feet a little bit. So if you have socks on like I do, it's been a bit chilly here, we'll take those socks off and we'll set them aside. Okay, I'm gonna start on my right foot, but first take your feet out in front of you and then just like wiggle them, kind of assess how they feel. And again, thinking back to the mental notes that we made in the beginning. So taking my right foot, I'm going to cross that foot over my left leg. Then I'm taking my right arm, so same side, hand and foot. Right hand, you are going to interlock your fingers between your toes. So if you need help, use your left hand to help you get all your fingers in between your toes. Might be easier for some of you than others. And if you can't get them all the way in, that's okay. Just do your best. Left hand, I'm going to anchor my heel. I'll show you from the side. I'm going to grab onto my heel, and then I'm going to twist the top of the foot. So I'm almost like separating the top of my foot from the heel. So I'm anchoring the heel, twisting the top of the foot. Your foot is made up of a lot of different little bones. And because we wear so much shoes, so many shoes, with a lot of protective layers, our feet just don't move in the way that they used to. Maybe when we were kids, we ran around a lot barefoot, and our feet like very interesting surfaces, so this helps. All right, and we'll release that. While we're here, we're going to do just a little bit of reflexology on the feet. So I want you to find the spot, feel around your feet towards the lower half of your feet, towards the heel. The area for the kidneys is just right in above the heel space. So kind of follow your heel along, and when you feel that divot in, and then come towards the inside of the foot, kind of towards like the inside arch. Feel around in there and you'll find a bit of a tender spot. If you're feeling pretty burnt out, this spot might be more tender. This is the area of the foot that represents the kidney. So dig in there a little bit. Maybe you can press and hold, take a few breaths, press and stretch up or down, side to side. Maybe you like doing some circles here, whatever feels good. Sometimes I like to just like walk and march my thumbs. And then do some little circles. And then maybe just some gentle combing over that area. All right, let's do the left side. Left foot is going to go over right leg. Left hand, interlock the fingers between the toes. Use your right hand for help. And then right hand is going to anchor the heel down and you're going to twist the top of the foot. And try to separate the top of the foot from the heel and move around all those different little bones that just don't get as much motion throughout the day. All right, and release. Now find that same spot on the left foot. So feel through your heel, and when you kind of feel that divot in, your heel goes in towards your foot. And then move just a little bit towards the arch of the foot. Feel around in there and find that little tender spot. You'll know when you find it. For me, my left side is a little more tender because I had a kidney biopsy on my left side, and then I really struggled with some ongoing inflammation in the left kidney over the last year. So my left kidney just always likes a little bit of extra love. It's a little more sensitive. So I definitely feel the difference from like on my left foot compared to my right foot. So, maybe you do too. And if you are sensitive, that does not mean you have any kidney inflammation. You might just be feeling burnt out. But that's why we do this. So again, you can do some walking, pressing. You can press in and hold, take a few breaths. Or you can also press in and stretch up, stretch down, side to side. Maybe do some circles, a few in each direction. But as you do this, just in your mind's eye, visualize yourself giving your kidney a little spa massage. All right, give it a few comb throughs and release. And then take your feet out in front of you again and just wiggle out your toes and notice that difference. All right, so let's come back to standing. We are kind of towards the end of our class today. So let's come back to standing and we'll finish up with our standing scan that we did at the beginning. And I just want you to notice the difference. Now, we mostly focused on the lower extremities, but I want you to notice what a difference it makes in your entire body and how you feel in your whole body. So take a couple of steps in place, let your feet land where they land, and then take a breath in. Close your eyes, let your arms relax by your sides, and bring your attention to your feet. And just notice the connection between your feet and the ground. What do you notice? Where are you carrying your weight? Has that changed from when we first started class? And checking in with the ankles, the lower legs, the knees. What feels the same? What feels different? Moving up into the upper leg and coming to where that thigh bone meets into your pelvis at your hip joint. What do you notice there? Does anything feel different? Does anything feel the same? And then we're going to come up and take a bird's eye view down into our pelvic floor. What do you notice? Coming around the back of the pelvis to the sacrum. What do you notice there? And then follow your sacrum up into your low back, your mid back, upper back, and neck. Can you feel the curves through your spine? What does that energetic flow up the spine feel like compared to when we first started? And then wrap your attention around your ribs. Take a breath in. Notice if your breath has changed. Is it different on where it lands on your ribs? And does it feel different in quality? Moving up into the shoulder girdle, your collarbone, your shoulder blades, your shoulder joint, your arms. What do you notice? What feels the same? What feels different? And then bringing your attention to your neck, your head. How do your head and neck sit in relation to the rest of your body? And lastly, checking in with your head space. Is there any dissonance or connection with your body? When you feel ready, you can wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, start to move your wrist, your arms, your legs. Wiggle your body around a bit and bring your attention back into the room. Take a breath. Thank you so much for joining me for this restorative movement class focused on the kidneys, the hips, and feet. If you really enjoyed this class, make sure you check out some of the other restorative movement classes that I have on my channel. And if you want to see more classes like this, make sure you let me know in the comments and subscribe to my channel. It was great having you here. Please feel free to revisit this class anytime you need, and I hope to see you again soon.